Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And I want to thank everyone for this beautiful Friday in sunny Southern California. My name is Hiram Figueroa. I am the host and the creator of LinkedIn Perspective. If you like this segment of LinkedIn Perspective, share it, like it, tag it, feel free to join it. It's the simple reason is I've been on LinkedIn for a number of years. And the reason why I say that is for one thing is to support the veteran community, to be able to educate them and give them a purpose. Also be business networking as well. As a combat vet, United States Marine Corps and Persian Gulf veteran, I'm happy to be able to share this on this Red Friday. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce my friend. His name is Paul, but his call sign is Pablo. So Pablo, take it and let's go for it. Let's go.
Yeah, no. And thank you so much, Hiram. And so my name is Paul Hylinski. I'm actually the CEO and founder of Vet Mentor AI, but also IronHaloAI. And so, you'll notice right away, boatload of AIs behind that, right? So big AI guy here, and excited that you'll have me on your show.
So Pablo, share a couple things how we met. We met on LinkedIn and just, what your passion and so people can understand what is the whole purpose of AI, right? You've been the creator, you have this patent, right? And
yes.
We've been able to do this Vet Mentor for a number of reasons. For the veterans to be easy access and to education, because as you know, you're a tech guy, everything is pretty much social media driven and it's internet driven. Would you like to expand on that?
Yeah. So we met on LinkedIn and it's been amazing. Just great group of people. Love the veteran thing, right? So we have the Marine Corps veteran thing in common, which is awesome. As Hiram said, I started and basically came up with Vet Mentor AI, which is a platform specifically for veterans to get their benefits and their disability benefits, because I struggled, right? The only reason why I actually know AI and know coding the way I do is out of frustration because I couldn't get my own benefits approved. So I actually used AI to teach myself how to code. And then I built my first AI tool, turned that into a company that's helping thousands of veterans, and then move fast forward into IronHaloAI. So what if AI could be used to actually make people more human? And so that is the thesis that I've tried to play with. So we've actually created, AI employees and these systems and processes that actually reduce the administrative burden on the employees in small and medium and even large size businesses. And so that they can really be more human and not burnt out. And these leaders can actually spend more time with the people that matter, their employees and their customers, rather than bogged down with administrative workload. So that's really my passion, is to change the world. And, there's this big fear and there's a lot of buzz around AI, but what if AI could be used for good? And like I said, what if AI could be used to make us all a little bit more human and actually enjoy our jobs and enjoy our lives more?
So Pablo, you want to share a story about a certain situation that you test run, that you helped the AI product help stop a suicide attempt?
Yeah. So we actually have a patent, we have a patent on a suicide ideation detector. So one of my friends in the Marine Corps actually committed suicide. His name was Sid. And so we actually created and then patented a suicide ideation detector, SID. And what it is it actually analyzes the words and how you say the words and your temperament and your tone. So as you're talking to these avatars that we have embedded in our different products, particularly for the veteran product is where we have this, it's actually analyzing. And so we had a Marine named John, and he let us do a bunch of testimonials. So Marine named John was actually doing an interview with the avatar. The avatar picked up that he was having a mental health crisis. He actually triggered the avatar's SID. And then so it asked if there was anyone else in the house with him. And so this SID, once it's triggered, it tries to de-escalate the person and then try to see how to get them help. So it asked John, hey, is there anyone else in the house? And he said, yeah, my wife is in the house. He went, he grabbed his wife, came back into the room, and the avatar suggested that they call the hotline. So they called the hotline, the 988 hotline. When they got on the hotline, they actually put it on speakerphone, and the avatar, this AI generated avatar, told the 988 hotline operator what it had seen to trigger the SID. And because of that, they were able to get John the specialized help that he needed. And you know, you want to talk about a couple Marines. So he had reached out through email. We eventually called each other. It's probably a 2-hour conversation where two Marines just crying to each other, you know, about what had happened. And for me, that was a personal goal of mine. And it doesn't stop there. Right? We saved one life already with AI and this platform. I intend to put a dent in the veteran suicide population because we can. Now we can use technology for the good of people. And that's really how I'm trying to.
So a lot of people don't understand, right? People complain about the VA, right? They talk about reaching out and stopping suicide and everything else. This is a good product because let's just say in that situation, the guy was alone and then that intervened, right? Some people were asleep and you don't have your ride or die person that can pick up the phone and do this. So time is of the essence and it's crucial, right? You're compressing timeline. But the good thing about it is this product, Sid, helped de-escalate the situation because this guy, John, was able to talk out his feelings, his suppressed feelings, and express it to an AI component that was listening and doing active listening for a number of reasons. To listen to the keywords, de-escalate the situation, and find other resources. So therefore, people need to understand that AI is there for a benefit. So what else you got for us there, Pablo?
Yeah, no, and this AI platform for the veterans is really changing lives. You know, we have a mission to make getting veterans their benefits easier because it's possible now. You know, one of the things that we're doing is, you know, one of our board directors is actually a Purple Heart recipient, and he's a personal inspiration of mine. And so because of him, we actually are giving the platform away for free. So giving the AI technology for free to any Purple Heart recipient in the United States. And so it's really amazing to see what the lives that we're changing. And then, so that was for the veterans. And then when we stepped into this IronHalo, we were like, okay, now we want to impact business at the root of it. And so we want to try to integrate AI into the average business, right? And people think of these small and medium-sized businesses, Joe the plumber, right? Eric the electrician. It's all these salt of the earth businesses that are small and medium-sized businesses where these, you know, small business owners, and a lot of them are veterans, are struggling every day to try to, you know, handle this workload where we've created AI tools that actually simplify. We've created AI employees that literally do some of the work for you. They sell for you. They schedule appointments to you. All you do is see your calendar just booking appointments. And so this has started to really change the ability of how these small and medium businesses really, you know, scale, because they don't have to worry about hiring, you know, people at this large thing. They can spend that money hiring people to deal with the customers and some of the other, you know, real business tasks that you can't automate.
So Pablo, let's talk about what you got on there. If you don't mind, I'm going to share the slide and then you go right at it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the IronHaloAI website. And so when you come here, you're going to see this kind of futuristic thing. We do, you know, in the hero section here, these are some of the things that we really are redefining how they're done, right? And just as I go down, you know, we are a veteran-owned and operated company. We have 3 members in the company. All of us, you know, are veterans. And like I said, one of our partners is a Purple Heart recipient. It's just really good veterans trying to impact the world through AI. We already have a bunch of different partners that we've already partnered with. We've won a top AI kind of growth tool award. We've successfully booked over 264. This is kind of like a lifetime counter. So 264 appointments have already been booked just with our AI employees. And if you take the revenue that the owners have said they've gotten, it's about $412,000. So really making an impact. We also offer a money day or a 30-day money back guarantee. Look, if you're not happy with the AI employees or the service in the first 30 days, we'll give you your money back. There's zero risk to people for trying AI. And we're so sure of the products that we have that we don't mind offering a 30-day money back guarantee. You're never going to find that with a bunch of different companies. Our flagship product is actually our AI employees. And so what these AI employees allow you to do are inbound and outbound phone calls where they'll actually call your customers or your leads, and they'll handle all the inbound calls. So it'll actually schedule appointments for you. It will, if you need it to, it'll direct them to a live person, which would be you as the business owner. And then we also deal with SMS or text replies, where as soon as you schedule an appointment, it'll text them their appointment, and it'll text them follow-ups. It'll text them reminders. It does an appointment booking. This missed call text back is really cool. So let's say you're a plumber or electrician, you're out on the job. Well, if I'm a customer, I'm typically going on to Google and I'm calling down the list of Google numbers. Well, if you don't answer, I probably won't call you back. But what this does is if you don't answer, let's say the customer calls and the person's on a roof or the person's fixing a drain and they don't answer, the system will automatically text that customer back and they'll say, hey, thanks for calling Joe's Electricians. How can I help you? And then it will even schedule appointments on your behalf. The other thing that the AI employees do, they'll actually automate your Google review. So we can typically get people 20 to 30% more Google reviews. And there's an entire system that does it. But even if somebody were to give you a Google review, the system, the AI employee will actually go in and automatically respond to that review, thusly driving your Google rating up. And then we have an entire CRM logging and tagging system. And then, our CRM system is really cool. And so what we do for the whole customer, engagement and everything, we have visual pipelines so that you can actually see where your customer is in your certain process. Are they a new lead? Are they followed up on? Are they already given an invoice? And then this actually does AI powered follow-ups. So we can create it to text or email your customers at certain points in the pipeline. It'll do texting and email, like I just said. And then these smart tags allow us to actually tag customers and then create automations around them. So think of if you gave an invoice to a customer, we could actually have the system at day 15, remind them at day 30, send them an email at day 45, actually go and call them with the AI agent. And then you get a full reporting dashboard where it shows you how much revenue that the AI employee has actually brought into your business, how many deals it's closed on its own. And it's really amazing for our customers because all they see is their calendar just fill up. And so they're like, I went to bed and when I woke up, I had 3 new appointments. Well, that's the power of this. You don't have to be on the phone. You don't have to be in the system. It is just going to automatically get the data from the customer, create the CRM record, and then literally populate your calendar. So the other thing is the phone systems and our AI agent through the phone. This is really kind of newer technology. So we've all called those, or gotten calls from the spammers and stuff, right? This is totally different. So imagine a phone when, let's say you have a business, a plumbing business or a roofing business. Imagine if you just had a number where your customers called and every customer calls that number, right? Well, typically you have to have a receptionist answer the calls. You have to deal with, what do you do with them while they're not answering the phones? These phone agents will actually answer the call. They'll schedule appointments. They'll even deal with questions, routine questions. We can set them up to even deal with billing questions. And so it's an entire system. And then after they schedule appointments or certain conversations happen, we can actually trigger SMS or text messaging. So imagine I schedule an appointment, I get a text saying, hey, thank you so much. Or imagine I pay my invoice after a job's done. I get an automatic text saying, hey, thanks. We hope you loved our service. Here's our Google review link. Please give us a review. And so we're able to automate a lot of that. Facebook Messenger and even website chat. So just for some businesses, let's just say they want a chat bot that sells products for them. Our AI employee can be embedded in any website. So no matter what your website is, we can actually embed our AI employee into it, and it'll sell for you. It'll book appointments. It'll do all those activities for you. And we also have lead management systems where we can help you find leads for your business. We do custom website designs. And so website designs, the average person really doesn't understand all the things that a website needs to have. Most people think you can just go on, one of these platforms and create a website with AI. And you can, but it's not going to be very good. And it won't sell your products for you. And that's really the thing with a website. You want a website that's going to really convert people to, being interested in what your product is, and then also signing up and giving you certain information. And so what we do is we try to focus on converting the traffic that your website gets into these booked appointments. And so that's through these AI agents and even the design of the website. We build smart websites. So they typically have AI integrations into them and can even have call agents. So there's certain buttons where if you press a button on a website, it actually will start an automation in the background. And so especially for lead generation, if you're going to do some kind of giveaway, we can even automate to where when the person signs up and they download the file, then all of a sudden they'll get a text. Then it puts them in a drip system where 7 days later they get a text or an email. And so you can constantly build. And typically it takes about anywhere from 5 to 7 times for someone to see your product, for them to really trust in you to buy it. And so the intent behind that and these lead generation campaigns are getting it in front of people enough to where they say, yep, that's what I want to see, or that would be really great for my business, or all those kinds of things. And then, we tailor the look, but we also do SEO optimization, because honestly, the point of a website is to rank high enough on a Google or a search engine to where when somebody types in AI, our goal is to be the number 1 or 2 site, right? And so when somebody types in plumber or electrician or, roofer, how do we make you number 1 or number 2? And then the last thing is we actually build full-scale software as a service, and we build mobile applications. We can build business applications. So something that, and this is the beauty part, when you put Marines on it, and I'm the Marine of our, company. We have 2 other Army guys. I always tell them, we love them, but no one would believe the Marine figured out a way to code. So we have a proprietary coding system that allows us to typically produce software as service, or even any kind of web application or MVP, which for your listeners is a minimal viable product. So that is what you want to start with and then work from there to scale out. So typically the average minimal viable product for a React application, right, which is what typical, the typical SaaS platform, and a SaaS is a software as a service. So pretty much anything you buy, like HubSpot, even ChatGPT is a software as a service. And so these are made from like React applications. The typical React application is going to cost anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000. Our team can typically build it from $5,000 to $10,000. And we can typically do it in about 50% of the time of the standard development team. And that's because we're utilizing the power of our proprietary system, and no one else is doing it like that. And so, like this says, we can do custom business apps. If you're looking for a CRM or a client portal that you want your own, then we can build that. We can even do white labeled platforms. So the neat thing with that is, let's say you have an idea for a software as a service, but then you want to sell it to other businesses and let them put their logo on it. That's what they call a white label platform. And so we can launch scalable software as a service for your company and then white label it to other companies so that they pay you the money and then they use their own branding and everything, which is really a fantastic thing if you have a great product. The mobile responsive web apps. So these are ones that you can either see on your computer, like a typical web application, but they also auto adjust size to a mobile. And then we can also do mobile apps as well. And then we do all kinds of API integrations and database integrations, right? So we're a full stack developer. So the one thing, and I kind of had talked about it before, but our AI employee, and so these do a bunch of different things, but, I'm just going to go down. So we have the phone agents, the chat agents, the missed call text back. You get all of this when you actually go for that product. We build you a smart AI website. So look, if you don't have a good website, or let's say you don't have a website and you want a free website and a CRM system all in one, then this is the product for you. And so we can build all of that. We can optimize the CRM. There's a bunch of different ideas. Now the plans are pretty simple, and it's one time a month pricing. So it's almost like a utility bill, right? Most people pay for hosting. Most people pay for 5 or 6 different applications within a business. And what happens is they lose track of all these subscriptions they've bought, right? Treat this, and a lot of business owners, all of our customers, treat this as like a utility bill. It's a flat fee, one time a month. They know it's coming, and they can see the rate of return, as soon as they install these. They can actually see how much money the AI agents and the AI employees are making them in the background. And that's part of your dashboard. So your ROI is immense, and it's typically anywhere from 10 to 20 ROI is what we see. And so, the ROI, just for some of your listeners, is a return on investment. So, just think if it's a 10 to 1, right? You pay $297 a month. You are getting $2,970 a month in additional sales. A perfect example is that missed call text back feature is probably one of the features that every service industry business should have, but they don't. And so you are missing customers, and the typical customer for, let's say, a roofing job is about $5,000. So if you could spend $297 or even $497 and get one job a month from that service, you are making, 10 to 20 times the ROI that you paid into it. And I think that's the really biggest deal, is that it's so cheap. This is so cheap compared to all the missed sales and all of the, work that people are having to put in to try to not miss calls, or to try to handle, chats on their sites and stuff. And gosh, there's a lot of companies that are great companies that really don't have a smart website. their website was built in some AI generic builder and it's not selling their product. They could 10x the sales they get from their website. And that's kind of where we're different, right? Your website for your company is your business card. When I go to your website, if your website doesn't look like a professional website or doesn't look optimized, I'm going to think the same about your business. And so the important thing there is to know that it's worth that investment to it. So I'm going to stop sharing. But yeah, that was kind of like the overview of the IronHalo kind of suite of products.
So Pablo, I know you stopped sharing, but just leave it up there so people can see that. Right? Because when people start looking at the podcast, right, they'll see us. But if you don't mind sharing that again, I'll leave it up there so they can see it when you have an opportunity. And I think it's important for a number of reasons, right? If you can just go give up the actual, leave it right there for a minute, and if it shows the avatar, people need to understand a number of things, right? You're just doing quite a few things. You're doing it with insurance. You're thinking about real estate. What other products are we talking about, Pablo?
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of different products. So we're in the middle of developing some really cool products for the civilian side. You think of processes like getting your Social Security benefits or anything that you struggle with. The beautiful part of AI, and especially with our company, we're very agile, right? Like I said, in the Marine Corps and in the Army and any of the branches of the military, you have to learn to adapt quickly. You have to learn how to be agile. And that's one thing that I really am proud of, Chad and Matt and the team members that we have in the company. It's, we are very agile with how we perform. We're very agile with the technology, right? I can't tell you how many times either of my partners has said, hey, what if we could do this? We'll go do it real quick, and then we'll come back and say, that's awesome. Let's keep it. There's been times where we've said, hey, what if we could go do this? We've done it and that doesn't really work. And so we're so in tune to let's just try it, right? What do we lose if we try it? And I think that's the difference with us is now we've created this really nice suite of tools, suite of AI agents and AI employees to really minimize that administrative workload. So, we plan on getting into, we already have a grant platform that actually will write grants, find grants for nonprofits. That's been hugely helpful to some of our partners who are nonprofits. Typical company, and here's the beauty of AI. You can do it so cheap. Excuse me. You can do it so cheap compared to the typical services. A typical grant writing company could charge anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a month. We can use AI and actually write grants, find grants, write letters of intents and everything for just hundreds a month. And so it makes it to where it's accessible to more people because most people can't afford that huge amount of money. There's really no stopping where we can go. And that's the beauty part of our development. So let's say one of your viewers has an idea where they're like, you know what, I would really like to build this kind of app, or I always wanted to build this kind of system or computer program or, software as a service. I'd venture to say we're going to be cheaper and faster than anyone you would find. And we also, we accredit ourselves on the flexibility with the customers because, we're constantly evolving, and so is AI and everything. And our customers have brought us some amazing ideas that they've wanted to bring into reality, but they've said, one of the feedbacks have been, we can't believe you made this happen, right? And it's because they'll go to other developers that will they'll quote them $25,000 for an application that has, basic integrations and everything. And we can typically do that program for $10,000, and we can do it in 50% of the time. And when you see these people, this is the real treat for me. But when you see these customers who are amazing people, some of them, a lot of our customers are veterans who have had these dreams of doing something, but it just was too far away. And then for us to be able to actually reach out, give them a cost affordable, way to get their dream done. And then after we're done, actually show them and they see their dream into fruition. It is probably the most gratifying thing that I've ever felt. And it is really fantastic. Like we are a nonstop mission now to impact everything that we possibly can with these custom applications, with building AI employees. We're just going to try to change the world. I always talk about it. The goal is to revolutionize the way the world acts through AI. And so we have the ability to maximize human potential through using AI.
So you bring a lot of valid points, Pablo. But the biggest thing that I can tell you that I learned from this, developing the relationship with you, is how you've been able to solidify this problem, right? The perception of how people see AI and how they view AI compared to ChatGPT. And the other factor is that it's run by veterans, right? So no, everybody is paying attention. Well, I'm going to this business because they're brand. People don't understand that this is a revolutionary movement right now, because you, as the founder, co-founder, and has a patent for this, is a veteran, right? A veteran-owned business in a sense. I can say that respectfully, but it serves its purpose, and it serves its purpose for a number of reasons. In today's market, AI is in high demand. They've been able to clone a lot of things, but by you as a veteran networking with other veterans, you're showing corporate society, generally speaking, that if we band together and we are like-minded, we can revolutionize the ideas and expand the thoughts and give the same product with the best brand that we bring, because we've served our country and we're just as smart as anybody else. Look what we can do for half the cost, and we can save you the time because we're pretty transparent. The other thing is, I want you to just touch on book a free demo call. What does that do for the person if they look at it?
Yeah. So when they go to this, and if any of your audience, decides, hey, this is something I want, definitely send myself or Hiram a message, right? And so when they book a free demo call, they're going to actually be able to schedule an appointment with us. And so they're really quick calls. They're 30-minute calls. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about your business. We're going to talk about what your goals are. We're going to talk about, what we can do to actually install these AI agents. Or if you're asking about a web application, what do you want your web application to do? How do you want it to look, right? And so during that call, we're going to see if we're a good fit for each other. Now, let's say we're a great fit for each other, which typically we are. And so from there, we'll actually get together, and there's an onboarding process for new customers where we're going to ask you some certain information. We're going to ask you about branding. We're going to ask you about social media, a lot of different things. And that's one thing I forgot to mention, Hiram, is we do complete social media marketing as well. In the $497 plan, which is really popular with some businesses, because it's 3 to 5 posts per week to grow your audience and everything. But we're going to find all of that stuff out in our onboarding process.
Correct.
And then it's really typically we go and we build the agents, we install the agents, and then we have a continuous improvement period where we'll actually continue to refine the training of the agent based on what you're seeing, your customers are seeing, and then we monitor it. And so you get constant monitoring. Part of the system that we have, you will get your own customer sign-in, so you can see the conversations. You can, write us notes. We have a help chat, so that you can literally go in and just type in any problem you're having. And then it'll reach out to us where we can connect with you. So there's a lot of different really great opportunities. But yeah, booking a free demo call and we'll show you the platform and we'll show you what you can do with the platform. And like I said, you know, I'm going to actually see the AI employee. So if any of your, you know, listeners want to come see what the AI employee is, on the website, there's actually a really good explainer video. And this actually goes through what the AI employee does, what it is, how it kind of works.
Can you play just a segment? Can you just play so they can hear it, you know, so people can hear it. So I don't think they hear it right there.
No? Okay.
So see if you can get it off of mute right there, because I see it's on the mute button on that side.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's the way that I share it. So I'm just going to share.
So while you're sharing, here's a couple of things that people don't understand, right?
Yeah.
I think for the most part, the cost is the most important thing, right? And then people are looking for that transitional state, that transitional movement. When they leave the military, they want to be able to network with like-minded entrepreneurs like yourself, prior military, and see how it is. What seems to be the biggest challenge that people don't understand, or the how can they say, the theory, the myth that they say when they have challenges of AI? You see it. I know you've done some public speaking. You've done some meetings. Give me some objections of what they're saying about it, so you can kind of dispel it, so people can understand it and hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first thing is that, you know, part of the reason why people are resistant to AI is because they don't understand it. And so some of the things, you know, AI is dangerous. Well, yes, it can be. AI has given us the ability to actually deep fake people, which can be really scary, because in the, you know, in the modern day or the old days, you'd have to actually steal from someone face to face. Then computers came around and you could steal from someone from a while away, right? In a different state. Now you can actually make someone think that your child, your parent, your boss needs something. So there is a little bit of that, but it's through education, right? Most people don't know how to tell if something is deep faked, right? And so people say, okay, it's dangerous. Sure, if you don't understand it, right? But if you understand how people are using it and why they're using it the way they are, it becomes a lot less dangerous. People are going to say, you know, it's going to take away all the jobs. It won't take away all the jobs. It will take away jobs that can be easily automated. So this is even more of a reason, because while there may not be a person doing that clerical job, there is going to be a person programming and operating and training the AI that will do that job. And if you think about, you know, just even recently how technology has kind of changed, right? Before, you used to have somebody in the 50s and the 60s, you used to have somebody literally go through a filing cabinet and file papers. Well, then the computers came around and all of a sudden you didn't need to file papers anymore, because you just put them in a file on your computer. The world didn't crumble. People didn't lose mass amounts of jobs, right? If anything, now the jobs became more high paying because you needed a certain skill. And so with AI, I expect the same exact thing to happen. And look, everyone in the world is resistant to change. Most people don't remember, but Volvo actually, you know, invented the seatbelt. And so when they purposely didn't put a patent on it so that people of everywhere could install these seatbelts, they knew it was so groundbreaking that they wanted everybody to be able to use it. And what happened? People revolted against it. They said, we're not wearing the seatbelts. It's going to kill us. It's going to catch us in the car. What do they think? We're bad drivers. It was every single resistant excuse. And so we're in this period right now with AI where there's a million reasons to use it. There's a million reasons to, learn it. But we have so many people saying all these negative things because there's resistance to it because it's new. But this is the generational impact that we are going to have. This is the computers and the internets, right, for our generation. And so this will change the way of the history of the world. And the big thing that I can say is embrace it, learn it, figure out how it can help with your job. Most people don't realize you can get promoted by the way you use AI. Because think about it, if everyone else in your office or a workplace isn't using AI, but you're probably going to be 30% more productive than everyone in your office. And what do you think they're going to do with you when you're 30% more productive than anyone else? Those are the people that are going to get promoted. So if anything, use it to your advantage. And like I said in the beginning, I am on a mission to show, what if we could use AI to become more human? Because we could be more human to spend time with other humans if we didn't have to do all this administrative junk.
So, you make a valid point because I work in that business field, and you haven't touched on quite a few things. But I think the biggest thing that people need to understand, veteran AI, right? Your passion, how it started, and how it can help a veteran, because a lot of veterans, their retention span is like 5 minutes when it has to do something with a Nexus letter or something like that.
Yeah.
Just touch on something, like give a quick example. If they're going through these challenges of what Vet Mentor AI actually does for the veteran, and just all that, please.
Yeah. So Vet Mentor AI. So this is kind of where it all started for us. So Marine Corps veterans struggled to get my benefits, right? And then, so what I did was we created a platform and turned it into a full-scale business. And so we created a platform to end the struggle for veterans to actually get their disability benefits, approved. And then we added an entire career suite onto it. And so, we actually optimize your claim for you. We create Nexus statements that you can get signed by your doctor. We even suggest how you should write and speak in your claim so that it speaks to the CFR, the Code of Federal Regulations, that require you to say certain things. We use AI avatar technology to actually go in and simulate your medical exam. We have a personal statement generator, which builds your case up. We have a virtual veterans officer. So think about this as he's trained on every single veteran benefit, every single veteran disability. He knows 2,500 different scenarios. Think about your local VSO, but the smartest one that you've ever met. And so that's what that tool does. We have a denied claims assist. Just tool after tool for veterans. We have a resume builder that even tailors your resume exactly how civilian jobs are going to require it. And they call that ATS friendly. And so they're using technology to scan your resume. And, so why not use technology to write it? And I do got to just say, so this here is actually an example of the AI employee. And so this can be, again, embedded onto any website. And so it'll actually have the person put their information in. And then this will walk you through either answering questions. So on our site, our AI employee answers questions for veterans about the service or some other types of questions they might have. And then, it can actually help you to push them to a certain product level that we have. And so this is kind of the Vet Mentor AI. The cool thing, and I'm really proud of it, and we're even up to now with the next website edition that we're about to release, now we're at 95%. But the claim optimizer gives you a score. Now, for veterans who scored an 8 or above, we have a 100% success rate. So out of all of the veterans who have taken the time to improve their score, if they get an 8, 9, or 10, and it grades you 1 through 10, if they get an 8, 9, or 10, we have had a 100% success rate with anybody 8, 9, or 10. Overall platform is now at a 95%. And then if you look at the national average, it's about a 35% success rate when the veterans try it themselves. And if they use a VSO help, it's about a 58%. And just to highlight, we've been in the news. So we've been really lucky. Even recently, we just had another news article or story come out on us. But really trying to build the company. And like I said, it's a couple veterans trying to impact the lives of other veterans. But if you're interested and you come to the site and you want to just read about some of the impact we're having, here's some of the news stories and everything that we do. We have a free education page as well that goes to our YouTube channel. And so we have a YouTube channel where we try to educate veterans. You can see, video here, 5 VA claim mistakes. Here's how to use your VA education benefits and start a business. Right. And so you can go in here and actually look at our videos and kind of learn. And it's really nice. If you're wondering how the heck this works, we even have a convenient, how it works section. So it takes you through each step. That way you kind of know step by step what you're doing. So.
Sorry about that. My dog was barking. So, needless to say, a lot of people need to understand quite a few things. And then hold on just a minute. Let me put this on mute. So quite a few things, I apologize for that, is that you have the best of both worlds. Veterans have an opportunity to see this. It's like AI is easy, right? To the point, ABCs of AI. You can say it's a new iPhone in a sense. People don't understand that. The opportunity of a Vet Mentor is a new iPhone for that because people don't understand the capabilities. They get frustrated with dealing with the VA. They get frustrated with dealing with the VSOs. They're expecting these claims to be able to get done. They go and spend time and get themselves examined, in compensation. Next thing you know, they get a denial letter. Then they don't know how to do that. Then they start giving up. So yep. That process is designed for you to set up for failure if you're not diligent. Myself, I've been very diligent. I've been successful. I'm just like 10% away from that. But for other people, it's a horror story. And you've been, a product of the product to be able to share that. And I think for me, the biggest thing that I can share is that we're here to help. We're here to educate, but people need to put in the work to see what it is as advocates for veterans and veterans' rights to help them out. You notice that since the pullout of the Afghanistan war 4 years ago, there's been a rush of veterans going out there, and there's a high rate of suicide. This generation is going to be pretty much having a lot of challenges for a number of reasons. They give up too easy. They're not very in tune to what's going on. They're looking for the quick, easy way out to get the benefits. They're not seeking the right mentorship to give them the right proper language, the right proper direction, able to help them assist. They expect things free. Let me share this, ladies and gentlemen. You get what you pay for, right? If you want beer, you're going to spend beer money. You can't have beer money and have champagne at the same time. It's not going to work. These are individuals like Paul and myself that have committed our lives to be able to set up people for success, but we can't get our time back. And at the same time, if we're investing our time with you, we expect some return of investment to balance out the time, because it's only fair, because it's a business for one. We give you guidance for two. We have you mentorship for three. There's results for four, and there's customer satisfaction. What do you say about that, Pablo?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's and there's so much value. The thing that we highlight to everyone is the ROI that you get from these tools. So you look at a tool like, Vet Mentor AI, right? Our pricing is 95% less than the nearest competitor. And so we charge a fee of $150. That's it. And so we get veterans from 10% to 100%, or 30 to 100. So if you got just 10% increase, that's $150 per month basically for the rest of your life. And so the ROI on that expense is 100-fold over the course of a lifetime. You look at an IronHalo, like I said, we typically see a 10 to a 20 per month ROI. So you spend $300 with us, the ROI is typically $3,000 to $6,000 a month. And so think about that as scale, especially as you start to scale. If you were to buy the $500 plan or the $497 plan and you 20x that, you're all of a sudden talking about a $10,000 a month thing. It's a huge thing. It is a huge thing. And these businesses are benefiting from that technology in a huge way. Nothing you do for your business, for the IronHalo side, will typically give you a 10 to a 20% ROI. And as a veteran, they are forced to go to these, the lawyers or the claim sharks, right? For the Vet Mentor AI, we offer a money-back guarantee. If you don't get all of your benefits, if you score an 8, 9, or 10 and you don't get your benefits, you get your money back. There's zero risk. And so that's what you get when you deal with a veteran company, people that are just out to try to impact veterans in a big way. I mean, if we didn't believe in what we are doing and believe in the level of technology that we have, we'd go on bankrupt if we did this money back guarantee. But we're so sure that we're going to help you that if for some reason we can't, there's zero risk to you. So why not try? All right. Why not try something new? If you're sitting there thinking, it's AI, I don't know, I'm nervous about it. You got 30 days on the IronHalo. If you don't like it, you don't pay anything. On Vet Mentor, money back guarantee, you don't get all of your benefits and you did everything right in the platform, money back guarantee, no questions asked. You're never going to find that with other companies, but that's what you get with, veteran owned and operated companies. That's what I was so excited to come on and really talk about, Hiram, because you are a huge veteran advocate, and your audience is hundreds of thousands of veterans and everything. And it's just amazing what veterans can do when they really set their mind to it. So many veterans and a lot of Marines say, I'm not smart enough to do that, or I don't know if I could do that, right? That's the joke with our team. Everybody's like, the guy who eats crowns is the one that's, building AI stuff. But if you're sitting there thinking you can't do it, you can. You just got to try, and you got to take one step forward.
So do me a favor, Pablo, put your stuff on the chat so people can see, how you can be reached out. So that, when they save it, when we save this program, it's going to be rebroadcast in LinkedIn. It's on a YouTube channel, LinkedIn Perspective, episode 151. Subscribe to LinkedIn Live Perspective, episode 151. And then you can look up, you can put your profile as well, Pablo, on the chat as well with LinkedIn. Because what we're doing right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're making a difference because we're not over-promising and under-delivering, right? We're taking action based on the assessment that we had. This is a business plan that's been thoroughly thought out. It's been executed. It's been proven. It's been re-evaluated. It's been measured in a number of instances. It's helped quite a few people. We can't please everybody because everybody has a different perspective. But I can tell you this, as Pablo stated, for this type of product from a veteran-owned business, you're saving a lot of costs and you're having a relationship with another veteran that can understand the language that you're bringing to the table that other people will not understand, or they fake the fun to think they understand it. And then you're set up for failure because it's overpromise and undeliver. So as an advocate for veterans' rights is a good thing. It's a good way to collaborate with Pablo. It's a good way to collaborate with my other business partner, Dave Diaz. We have some other people that are doing other things, but this is the forefront of what is going down, the state of the art. As Pablo stated, This is a new way of doing things. You need to embrace it. Like we say, embrace the suck, embrace the AI. It's a new iPhone. Think about it. It's going to work for you. Make it work for you before it works you. If it's working you, then you're not putting in a strong thought process of understanding it, and you're not reaching out to the people that have been battle tested to be able to explain this as well. And when I say battle tested, we've gone through the experiences, we've had our failures, we've learned from them. There's been success, but we can speak it based on the testimonial. Last thing before we wrap up, Pablo, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just, you hit the nail on the head. You know, we have to embrace the future. The future is here. This is going to change the world, and you're either going to be the guy or gal who doesn't know how to use it and struggling, or the guy or gal who embraced it and is changing the world. And that's what we're doing at Vet Mentor AI, IronHaloAI. We are planning to change the world for the people we care about, veterans, small businesses, medium businesses. So like I said, if you're sitting there thinking and you watch this and you're like, well, it'd be nice to give it a try, it's risk-free for you. And what we've seen is it's changed lives. And we're happy to do it, because just a bunch of veterans just trying to change the world for people. Can't get any better than that.
So like you said, it's pretty much bulletproof, ladies and gentlemen. When I say bulletproof, there's no backs, there's no drawbacks to it. I mean, everything is pretty much transparent. Yeah, selling in the dream, you got to believe in the dream in order to buy it, right? So if you don't believe in yourself and think that you can't do it, then you're selling yourself short for a number of reasons, because you fail to, take a risk, right? And at the end of the day, who thought that all of us would make it to 2025 into 26, right? And the other thing is, times are changing, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a service-connected veteran and you are not taking the initiative or doing your due diligence to get compensated for all the injuries or ailments that you've served in the military, you're leaving money on the table that's there for you because you earned it. Don't say, oh, I leave it for the other guy. That's BS. The other guy doesn't care about you. Let's put it this way, and Pablo can agree. Not all veterans can help veterans. I can tell you that right now, hands down. They don't care. They'll play the veteran card to their benefit, and they give us a bad name. For you veterans that are suffering in silence, I strongly suggest that you look up to this LinkedIn perspective of episode 51, or LinkedIn Live episode 51 on the YouTube channel. You can reach out to Paul, and LinkedIn is in the chat. You can look up for me. We're happy to do this. I think we can do this another month from now and see what's going on. And we're going to leave this as there's other new developments and leaving more and more. Right, Pablo?
Yeah, that's awesome. We're changing every day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Last words. You got about 45 seconds, Pablo. What you got to say?
Now, I just want to say thank you to you for your dedication to veterans, you being an advocate. And you've been a hell of a friend, and, just love seeing what you're doing for veterans. So kudos to you, sir.
Well, I love the fact that we've been able to develop a relationship based on trust and credibility. People don't understand that in today's social media, because people overpromise and underdeliver, and they put fake profiles and the filler words. And then next thing you know, when you call them to the carpet, they're not even close to it, right? So I appreciate everything. We're going to be doing another segment sometime in September, after September, 9/11. And we want to be able to bring something up so people can see what's going on. So if you like this segment of LinkedIn Perspective, just stand by, Pablo. If you like this segment of LinkedIn Perspective, episode 51, share it, tag it, make your comments known, subscribe. Pablo has left the Vet Mentor AI links in there. You can reach out to him. Put your LinkedIn profile as well, Pablo, in there.
Yep,
So,
I think it did.
okay.
Yeah.
We want to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your Friday. Red Friday. Remember, everyone still deployed and simplified. And enjoy your weekend. Peace out. Stand by, Pablo.